everyone, it's Jordan, and today I'm going to be talking about the books that I wish I've read in 2023. So I like doing these videos every year, talking about the new releases of that year that I wished I've read that year, and I have a bunch to talk about. I usually pick 10 just because usually I don't end up reading that many new releases. I know last year I barely read any new releases because of my wedding last year, and with this year, I don't know what excuse that I have. I mean, I only read 3 2023 books this year, I think. So, yeah, I still like doing these lists every year just so I would try and make it as a priority and the new year, but who knows. But anyways, let's talk about the books that I wish I've read in 2023. So the first book that I wish I've read in 2023, which has been super hyped this year, which is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, and I literally just bought this like maybe last week on a Black Friday sale. I mean, it wasn't on a Black Friday deal, it was like 50% off on Amazon, and I was like, might as well take it. And all I know about this book, this is a fantasy romance that features dragons. So that's all I know about it. I know it's been hyped this year, and I know like the first edition had the spray edges. I don't have the spray edges with the dragons all over, but that's okay. I'm not going to make a big deal out of it, but I know that I've heard mixed things about this book, but I still wanted to give it a try just because I've been wanting to read a lot of fantasy books that I don't lean towards too. Like, I mostly read YA fantasy, but now I've been branching out to adults, but I still read YA occasionally. But yeah, and I know the sequel just came out, so I want to know what the hype's about. So hopefully I'll make this a top priority for next year, but yeah, I wish I've read this year just because it's so hyped. And the next book that I wish I read this year is A Study in Drowning by Ava Reid. I know she is a very popular author, and I know she wrote The Wolf and a Woodsman, I think that's what it's called. I know that she's more famous with her adult fantasy. This is her YA fantasy, and also all I know about this book is about a girl who's going to her famous author's house that she admires, but then she finds out that her favorite author is murdered, I think, and then she tries to solve the mystery, I think. I don't know, but I've been hearing a lot about it on BookTube, and I don't know if I've heard positive or negative reviews of it, but mostly I've seen like a lot of positive feedbacks on BookTube from what I can tell, and I just really love this cover. I got this from OwlCrate, and I know I also like the original cover as well, and it's a bookish book, so of course I would be upset that I didn't read it this year, but yeah, I really hope to get to it soon just because it just sounds like it's right up in my alley. And the next book that I wished I've read this year is Reggie and Delilah's Year of Falling by Elise Bryant. This is an author that I've been really liking. She wrote Happily Ever Afters and One True Loves, which are the companion novel series, and this is not part of it, but I just love how simple the covers are and everything. But this is about a boy and a girl who ends up running to each other on different occasions, and then they end up thinking like maybe fate's telling them that they need to be together, and that's all I know about it. And I know I like Elise Bryant's books, so I was upset that I didn't get to it this year, but maybe next year I'll get I'll put it as a top priority. Who knows? Just because and even though I've read a lot of books this year, but I still did put some of the books from authors that I like as top priority. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm still really wanted to pick this up because I do really like young adult contemporaries as well as adult contemporary romances. So yeah, I'm upset that I didn't pick this up, but hopefully I'll put this as a top priority. And the next book that I wish I've read in 2023 is Lunar Love by Lauren Kong Jessen. This is about a woman whose grandmother was going to retire from matchmaking, and she wants to pass that business to her, and she's trying to figure out how to do matchmaking business in a modern society, and that's pretty much all I know about it. It just sounds really cute. Like, I know that sometimes, and I like a lot of family things when it comes to books, and I especially like when she has looks like she has, especially relationship with grandparents, which you don't see in a lot of books, because I know I've been close with my grandparents on both sides of my family, and I just like a lot of family themes in books, so I'm upset that I didn't get to this, but it sounded really interesting when I heard about the synopsis, so I'm upset that I didn't read this year, but hopefully I'll put this in a top priority, especially when I've been branching out at adult romances too, but I do read YA occasionally now, like I mentioned, but hopefully I'll pick this up really soon. And the next book that I wish I read this year, which is a graphic novel that was published this year, which is Cursed Princess Club by Lamb Cat, and all I know about it is about a group of princesses who are part of a club that they're cursed. So, and it's like a fantasy kind of graphic novel, and I honestly wanted to read this just because the artwork really reminds me of manga, and I've been reading a lot of manga this year, so yeah, I'm upset that I didn't get to it because it's a graphic novel and they're usually easy reads for me, but I do hope to read this soon just because I just love the artwork from the cover and inside of books from me flipping over, and yeah, as a big anime fan, I'm like wanted to pick this up for that reason, and I know the second volume just came out this year, so yeah, I'm upset that I didn't pick this up, but for a graphic novel, I should have been putting it as a top priority at least. And the next book that I wish I've read this year is This Dark Descent by Caitlin Jovison. I think that's how it's pronounced, but all I know about this book, reminds me, it's like from the synopsis of the book, is a Jewish mythology inspired story that's horse racing, but it's like the Hunger Games meets horse racing. That's all I know about it, and I haven't read any books about horse racing lately, and it just sounds really interesting to me, and I wanted to pick this up since I got this from a book box as well, and I really love this cover than the old cover, but it just really sounds like a really interesting story, and I wish I'd picked this up sooner, but like I said, I keep coming up with excuses for myself, but yeah, I'm still excited to pick this up whenever I can, just because it sounds really interesting to me. And the next book that I wished I read in 2023, and I've been kicking myself for this because she's one of my favorite authors, which is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston, and this is her second adult romance book that she has released, and I don't know much about it other than it's written by Ashley Poston, and I love The Dead Romantics. That's one of my favorite books of last year, and I'm still kicking myself for not reading this year, so yeah, I don't know what's wrong with me, and she's, like I said, she's one of my favorite authors, and I didn't pick it up this year, and I don't know much about it. Like I said, all I know is about a woman who's in the book industry, I think, and then she moves into her aunt's apartment. I don't know, but I'm really mad at myself for not picking this up because, like I said, Ashley Poston is one of my favorite authors, and I did pick this up this year, and I'm really kicking myself for that. So yeah, I'm still mad at myself for not picking this up because, like I said a bunch of times in this video, she's one of my favorite authors, and I'm mad that I didn't pick up her new releases this year. And the next book that I wish I read in 2023 is Mysteries of Manor Thorn by Margaret Rogerson. This is a sequel novella or a companion novella to Sorcery of Thorns, and I should have picked this up sooner because it's so short, and I'm mad at myself for not picking this up, and she's another author that I really enjoyed, and I'm just mad at myself for not picking this up, especially when I really like her books, and yeah, I'm still mad at myself for not picking this up. I don't know what's wrong with me, but yeah, I shouldn't keep coming up with excuses just because it's short, and I should be able to read it really quickly, but I didn't pick this up. Somehow, there's some days that I'm not in the mood for fantasy for some reason, or I'm just in the mood for a different fantasy book that I want to read. I have no clue, but yeah, I should stop making up excuses, because I know that, again, this is a short book, and I didn't pick it up. That's all I gotta say, and yeah, another author that I liked, I just didn't pick it up this year. What the heck is wrong with me? And the next book that, coming in a theme of authors that I like that I didn't read their works yet, the next one that I wish I read in 2023 is The Scarlet Veil by Shelby Mahurin. She's the author of the Serpent of Dove trilogy, and I know I love that trilogy, and I still haven't read the third book, and I thought I would pick this up, but by knowing me, sometimes I like to read books and publication dates by authors that I like, but for some reason, I really wish I would pick this up because I really like her books, and And this is her newest one. I think it's part of a new series, and I just love this cover. It's so gorgeous, and all I know about it is a vampire book, and that's all I know about it. And it's intimidating because her books tend to be chunky, and I'm always nervous about reading them, and I end up enjoying her books after that. It's like over 600 pages, and I'm like, what the heck? So, and I know that I like her books, like I said, and I wish I would pick these up sooner, but yeah, this book is intimidating me, not just because it's from an author that I like, it's just how big it is. So that's why I wish I read it this year, but I shouldn't let big books intimidate me at all. And the last book that I wish that I've read this year is Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. What the heck, I'm about to say the wrong author's name, but I know this is a third book in the Stemmis romance series. I don't know what it's called, but I know the first book is The Love Hypothesis, which I love, and then Love on a Brain, which I liked, but not as much as Love Hypothesis, and then this is the third one in that series, and I don't know much about it either. Like I said, if you haven't read they're all companion novels, so you don't need to read them in order, but I know I've been reading them in publication order. But if you haven't read Love Hypothesis, Love Hypothesis about a woman who's a graduate student, I think. I'm trying to remember on top of my head, and then she just kisses a random guy and asks her to be her fake boyfriend because her friends have been pressuring her into dating. So that's the synopsis of the first book in the series. So yeah, I enjoy this series, like I said, even though I didn't enjoy the second book as much as the first one. So yeah, I do hope to enjoy this as much as the previous books. But yeah, I'm intimidated by it just because sometimes I'm not in the mood in romances for some reason, and I don't catch up on new releases lately. So yeah, that's pretty much my excuse for this video at this point. So that's all the books that I wish that I've read this year. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up and comment down below what new release books that you wish that you've read this year, because I would like to know. And if you haven't already, click the subscribe button and click the bell icon so you know if I post new videos. Also, you can follow me on social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Goodreads, which all links will be down below for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!